I wanted to share with you some of the things that I think about when I'm going through my breath practice. It's something that shows up throughout my day, not even just when I'm on my mat or if I'm working out, but I'm practicing these concepts of how we breathe and control this air cavity here to strengthen the muscles of respiration that give us stronger core strength and more control, more conscious control of how we breathe and how rapidly we breathe. So you can find yourself in a comfortable position. I'm sitting on blocks here to raise my hips up. If you have a blanket or a pillow, that works fine too. It doesn't have to be all crazy or anything like that, just wherever your feet land that allows you to sit comfortably. The hands on the thighs, we set up nice and tall, and just close the eyes. We'll settle into the breath. Start to expand through the belly when you breathe. Deeply inhaling. And just as long for the exhale. Big inhale here. Notice the belly expanding in all directions like a balloon inflating. And as you breathe out, make it as long as you possibly can. Continue with that breath. And as I'm talking, start to see if you can feel some of these ideas. So as you breathe and you're filling that belly, you're wanting to let go of all of those muscles. I mean, you don't want to. The tendency is to stay somewhat engaged for that strong core, but in this case, we actually want to relax all of those muscles that support the pelvic floor and just this kind of core cylinder around the front, the sides, and the back. So you can imagine as you breathe in, the guts just kind of spilling and sagging in the bottom of that pelvic bowl. We can relax all of those sphincters that we have that keep us from not going to the bathroom all the time, and just let that go soft as you expand through the belly to take your biggest breath in. Okay, so just focus on that. The inhale's nice and long. Belly filling in all directions, guts just relaxing down into the pelvic bowl. And as we exhale, just let that passively come back to normal. Try 2 more big inhales. Belly just spilling out here. Everything coming back to center. Last one, inhale. Good. Now I'm exhaling out of my mouth so you can hear what's happening, but ideally we want that breath to be going in and out through the nose, so you can really kind of control the speed and the intensity of each breath cycle. So now that we've kind of worked on that really passive letting go of all of this stuff to really maximize that filling of the belly, now we're going to work on strengthening the muscles that lift the rib cage out. And when that happens, that's when our lungs fill with air. So what we're going to do at the top of the breath is work on a bit of a hold here. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And I'm going to hold at the top of the breath here. Now it's easy to just kind of close my throat and just relax on the pressure of this inhale. But what we're going to do is feel the muscles that created the inhale and try to hold the top of the breath with these muscles prying the ribs up. And we're keeping that throat open so the air could travel in and out if I were to let go of those muscles, right? So we're using this active hold at the top of the inhale to work on building our capacity for breath duration and how easily we can inhale. All right, so let's give it a try. Just maybe 3 nice deep breaths, and you can continue this on your own at a later time. So, empty everything out. We're going to inhale. ribs expanding. When you get to the top of your inhale, see if you can hold there. You can exhale whenever you need to. Don't go into a panic mode, but maybe you can pry them open a little more. And releasing from there. Take a breath cycle or two, just normal, to calm yourself down. If those holds send you into that panic mode, it's not worth going there. So anytime we're working on these holds, if you need to release sooner than what I'm instructing, by all means, that's your practice, and you build up that capacity and duration over time. So let's do another round here. Ribs. Let's breathe everything out. Inhale. Top of the breath, hold with these muscles. You might feel some stuff up your back if you're sitting up as tall as possible. Whenever you need to exhale, we can send that breath out. All right? A breath cycle or two as normal, just to calm yourself back down. And then we'll do one final one here. Again, these fingers are just acting as my ribs here. You can stay in your comfy seated position. All right, let's exhale everything out. Inhale, ribs open up. Really expand. See how much you can flare those ribs out. And hold them open. Not closing the throat. We're relying on these muscles when you have to exhale. Let all that air out. And just a breath cycle or two, and I'll rinse everything away. So we spend some time holding at the top of the breath. Now we're going to go down to the bottom of the breath when we've completely exhaled everything out. And I'm talking everything out. Nothing left. We're going to train those muscles of the deep core, transversus abdominis, all these oblique layers, pelvic floor come into play to really squeeze all of that air out. Once we get to that point, we're going to hold all of those muscles engaged, like we're holding a plank, just squeezing them down to hold the breath at empty. Okay? Again, if it sends you into a panic mode, definitely take an inhale. What we're trying to do is maximize that time that we're under tension by holding that breath at the exhale. Okay? So let's give it a try. We're going to exhale everything out. So these are going to represent my core muscles. We inhale fully. Now breathe everything out. And when you think you've gotten empty, it all the way empty. Pelvic floor lifting up. When you have to inhale, we take an inhale and then take another breath cycle or two to calm down. That one's more challenging than the inflation for most of us. So we really are working on tightening down. Again, I'm not closing the throat to just kind of rest on the pressure difference. We're keeping the trachea open so that we're relying on these muscles to compress down on that cylinder to keep all of that air out of the lungs. Okay, so let's try 2 more times. Take a breath in. Full exhale. I'm compressing everywhere from all sides, from the bottom up and the top down. Getting it completely and hold as long as I can. And then we'll take that breath in. And a full breath cycle is normal. Sometimes I just shake it out in between reps there, feeling that belly expanding, right, just spilling out. You can see here I'm not trying to hold any sort of tension, just letting it all hang out. Okay, we've got one more round here. Same thing, sitting up nice and tall. Full breath in. And exhale everything out. Keep practicing finding a deeper and deeper exhale. Holding at the bottom as long as feels doable. You can hear I'm totally empty. No. Breathe it out, rinse it away. Shake it out, roll it out. All right? So those are some great starting tools to begin to understand the parts of your breath and how we can start to strengthen not only the muscles that help control it, but also the psychology behind it. That can be really threatening to be holding your breath at the top to the bottom. So give yourself time to adapt to these positions. And with that, you'll start to become more comfortable with longer duration holds. And then you can use that sort of breath control when you're going into a yoga class, weight training session. Can be really good as just a calming style of breathing when you're in stressful situations like a grocery store or traffic or things like that. So give it a try. Practice makes perfect here, and don't be in any rush to master it. You know, it's enjoying what you learn along the way. Enjoy the process. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy breathing.